During the infancy of the state of Wisconsin, rivers were the equivalent of today's interstate highways, the Wisconsin River being the most traveled of them all. Early lumbermen and Wausau's founding fathers knew well the three rules of real estate: location, location, location. It didn't take long for the river town to become the industry epicenter of north-central Wisconsin. Wausau is positioned in the north-central portion of the state along the banks of the mighty Wisconsin River. The area was first known as Big Bull Falls, derived from the French word bulle, or bubbles, because of the large amount of foam and bubbles that the rapids on the river produced. In the mid-1800s, the name Wausau was adopted, a slight variation of the Chippewa name meaning either a faraway place or a place that can be seen from far away. This drop in the river provided an ideal spot to build sawmills that would eventually process the entire surrounding pine forest into lumber. After all the large timber was used up, many of these mills were converted over to making paper, an industry that is still thriving today. The railroad making its way to the area in 1874 also helped to expand the diversity of the city's enterprises. After much of the land was cleared of its timber, agriculture took over, and today is one of the most prominent industries in the area. Marathon County's over 60,000 dairy cows claim fame to being one of our nation's top producers of cheese. As the nation's leisure time increased, the Wisconsin River naturally began to be looked at through different eyes. The large lakes that the dams created became a hotspot for fishing, powerboating, as well as sea kayaking. In 1974, a group of paddling enthusiasts realized the potential of building a whitewater run through a section of the original rapids that attracted people to this very spot over 150 years ago. The Wausau Whitewater Park has since become one of the nation's best and most popular slalom and freestyle courses, hosting world-class competitions as well as being a venue for Olympic training. Although it was primarily the Wisconsin River that allowed the Wausau area to flourish, there are smaller, more intimate tributaries that also provide fun for paddlers, thanks in part to the accommodating access points provided by the Marathon County Park System. Here are two that we'd like to show you. We'll start out with the Big Rib River, west of Wausau. A section that we're fond of is the 11 miles between County Highway F and the small town of Rib Falls. A good rule of thumb in determining if there's enough water in the river for paddling is by looking at this little set of rapids at the put-in. If you think you can make it through these okay, then the rest should be a piece of cake. I must say first, because of the unusual amount of rain the area had received prior to and during our filming, the water levels you see here are high, 875 cubic feet per second on the USGS gauge located near the takeout. With a downhill slope of 5.5 feet per mile, at normal levels this section of river is full of shallow riffles and gravel bars. Keep in mind, though, the river does get very low during the dry summer months, requiring walking your boat through many of the shallower riffles. For current river conditions, as well as rentals and shuttles on this and many other rivers in the area, contact Silent Glide Sports, located in nearby Medford. There's amazingly little human development seen from the river. Scenery fluctuates from low floodplains to rugged rock outcroppings. There's a portion of the river 6 miles upstream from the Highway F put-in where there's a short section of enticing whitewater. The Big Rib Dells is also where historians believe the French missionary René Menard perished way back in 1661. It wasn't from running the rapids as you would expect. He mysteriously vanished while portaging around them. His body was never found. As you approach the end of your trip, you'll hear and see the Big Rib Falls. Pull your boats up on the left shore above the rapids and walk the short path to the parking lot, where you'll find yet another convenient Marathon County park. There was once a mill dam located here. In the 1960s, the dam was washed away in a flood, once again exposing the original drop in the riverbed. Downstream from here, the river slows and widens, providing even more opportunities for paddling. To the east of Wausau is the Eau Claire River. The entire length of the stream is wonderful for paddling. The stretch we like best is the 7 miles between Big Bear Road and the dells of the Eau Claire County Park. The scenery alternates between picturesque farms and near wilderness settings. As if that wasn't enough to attract us, there are also 2 sets of exciting rapids made by the river dropping over ledges in the bedrock. You won't have to wait long. The first set of rapids occur only 1.5 miles after putting in. The second, a half-mile farther. As with most rapids of this size, scouting before running is highly recommended. Something you should also keep in mind, there's no shame in portaging around rapids you feel uncomfortable with running. Other ways to avoid going for an unwanted swim are lining your boat down the drop from shore, or finding an alternative to the main channel, a sneak route of sorts. During these high water conditions, found primarily in early spring or after extended periods of rain, the rapids and waves rank as solid Class 2s or above, the second set of ledges being slightly more difficult to navigate than the first. The water level you see us paddling at is 950 cubic feet per second, measured on a gauge located far downstream near the town of Kelly. The Eau Claire gets much too low for enjoyable paddling during the dry summer months. The remaining 5 miles of this trip, you'll encounter fun riffles, Class 1 rapids, and magnificent scenery. The river slows as you approach the takeout upstream of a short dam. Just below is the famous Eau Claire Dells. The county park here also provides picnic areas and a convenient campground. Sometimes run by paddlers, we chose to stay high and dry and experience the dells from shore. If you're a hiker, it may interest you to know that the 1,200-mile Ice Age Trail skirts the north side of the river here, providing spectacular views of the river tumbling through the cataract carved in the bedrock. Downstream is another wonderful section to paddle, full of more rapids and beautiful surroundings. Truly a river town. The next time you find yourself looking for a place to hang out and do some paddling, give the Wausau area a try. See you on the next river.